I walked over to the mysterious compound across Palm Circle and on into the building. No security. They were indeed mostly civilians, but for 3 privates.
Head, you were coming. Sorry for the delay back at Fort Polk. We were finishing up your background check. You're clean as a fish from the White River in Mississippi.
Happy to be here, Lieutenant.
Glad you could join us. I'll show you around. This here's the computer programming area.
He introduced me to a Mr. Freeman there, an ordinary-looking American, along with his shapely Oriental secretary, who seemed part Japanese, and then to Ben, the computer leader person. We headed down a hallway.
Mr. Freeman runs this place, at least for what happens in computer programming over there. Out in the field, you'll be on your own, although loosely under the General's umbrella, which you probably won't even have to deal with. But if he needs you for anything, he'll find you.
What general is that, Lieutenant?
Just the commander of the entire Pacific region. He's based here, but he's hardly ever here.
We then went into a kind of map room that showed various locations throughout Indochina.
Here we gather intelligence from the field.
They had but one terminal, with a large screen with a few civilians gathered around it. Wonder how they got that.
I'll show you more next time.
More back rooms?
Yeah.
The sergeant gave me 2 weeks off.
Great. That means he likes you. You might want to check out our computer center just down the way.
We went outside and he pointed to it. The lieutenant lit up a smoke and offered me one.
Times are a bit slow this week, which is good, for when they move, they really move.
You're not really a lieutenant-type lieutenant.
I'm higher. Hey, you're the first to catch on to that right off. Although when I'm here at this compound, I'm a lieutenant. What gave it away?
The Computer Science Center supporting logistics and supply is real enough, but it's also a front for intelligence, which need is also routine enough, but it probably has an operating arm, which is where the missing soldiers are, and the newest, perhaps getting trained or briefed at Schofield Barracks or somewhere else.
Very good. And me?
You're above Mr. Freeman, and he's probably a GS-11, with Ben as a GS-9.
What else?
You're not a good old boy from Mississippi, since your affect is not through and through. Tennessee, maybe. Your grandfather's from France.
Hey, good. Kentucky. I'll have to work on my Deep South thing some more. We're doing a big last push now. You're going to do okay here. Welcome.
It's some kind of a miracle.
Yeah, and that's our job too. Ben needs someone in 5 or 6 weeks to bring our update tapes to Korea. Your Army ID will serve as your passport. Wait for Ben to bring it up. He just lost a good friend in a helicopter crash in Vietnam. Our previous courier, your predecessor.
I'll do it, and the other runs too.
Thanks. I was going to ask you. And you get points for volunteering first, but otherwise, we're planning to keep you mostly in software here. But other needs could arise.
Sounds good, Major. See you in 2 weeks.
I am that, and I might have been a colonel. But we don't have those in this area, because those pencil pushers would only get in the way of the action, which is what we're all about.
I walked over to the computer center and went inside. I saw Vince coming out. He was but a private first class and very young. There were some Oriental ladies in the office. They sent me on into the computer room. They didn't have an IBM machine. It was an RCA Spectra 70.
What assembler language does this thing use?
The same as IBM's, but this machine is cheaper. Wait till Mike hears this one, I thought.
Does this process the input cards in real time, or do the cards decks get put onto disk first?
In real time?
So then the computer has to spend time doing nothing but waiting for new decks to be loaded, for they don't get cached.
Yeah, I guess.
What's the name of the random access disk?
B2. I key punched a 4-line program and then made a copy of it.
It's called CDRA for Card to Random Access. Run it once and then you can put as many card decks in as you like, not having to wait for each one to finish computing as before.
Okay, thanks. I'll try it.